Hey, welcome to the Talkaholics podcast. I'm the host, Annette. I'm with John, Tuel, Lewis, Isaac, and Eden, and we're going to be talking about UK cultural differences for Gen Z. How are you guys doing?
Thank you.
We're good today.
I'm doing good.
Okay. What do you think is more common, knife crime or gun crime for Gen Z?
I think knife crime in the UK specifically is at a rise, and gun crime is not very common because it's illegal for one, and illegally it's very hard to obtain. And you can find a knife in your kitchen, and it's quite easy. It's not very good.
And also, you would have to get a license in America to get a gun. Whereas in the UK, the only type of license you can hold to obtain a gun is a hunting license, which is mainly used like up north, like in Scotland, where there's more forests and everything. But in London, you don't really see it as much.
Okay, very true. What makes the US and UK vibe so different?
I think the size of the US and the different cultural ideas within the US make them different to the UK. Because with the US, because it's a much larger country with very different areas within it, it leads to a lot more diverse thinking than in the UK, where it's all very similar no matter where you are.
And there's also many different cultures in America, seeing as the population is a lot bigger than the UK. You've got different cultures in different states, whereas in UK, it's just mainly cities. You've got London, Manchester, Birmingham. It's just specific to each city culture.
And I think also America is very political in comparison to the UK. With America, it's like each state votes on who they support more, and there's really only like two main candidates which they can vote for. And that's a big thing in America, but in the UK, it's not so much of a worry for us.
Yeah, so it's pretty vast. I mean, some areas there's like more cities in the US, and there's some areas where it's more like country-based, like Texas and other places. And yeah, it's very vast in the US.
Very interesting. How do you think the education in the US and the UK is so different?
I feel like in the US, Donald Trump, their president, is not like focused on education for the children, but in England here, I feel like the government are like very adamant on education compared to America.
And how like in the UK, they're adding in how you have to do English and maths compulsory till you're 18 rather than 16, because they want people in the UK to get a better education.
And I think in America as well, you can drop out at any age, and they don't really care.
No, as long as you have a job, they don't care.
However, I think US schools do focus on stuff that our ones don't, as they have a bit more of a competitive nature.
Yeah.
Because they've got spelling bees, sports competitions, all those to allow people to get further with the stuff they achieve, like scholarships, whereas they don't offer that in the UK, as well as with high schools going till you're 18, whereas in the UK you finish school at 16.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys have a fair point. Do you think cultural differences in the US and the UK has an impact in our generation, so Generation Z?
Yeah, I would say so. Seeing as like you've got different social media platforms such as TikTok and Instagram, which are the main two, and because they're so like widely popular throughout the world, it impacts people. Seeing as like there's different trends being set, and people have to like follow the trends to some extent, and I think that impacts different populations.
Definitely.
Yeah, you're right. What's the difference on the productivity between Gen Y and Gen Z?
I feel like Gen Y was a lot more productive than Gen Z because we have like the internet and AI to think for us. So
yeah, they were more like hands-on, you know, like actually less online stuff. It was more physical. Yeah.
I do think that's a benefit for us, though.
It is.
Because we've grown up with those technologies, and those technologies are slowly becoming our future.
Yeah, no, of course. But like, I feel like Gen Y were more like productive, like physically, and
yeah, definitely.
Like, they might think better than us because we literally have.
We just sit at home all day, pretty much.
Literally.
And I think also they're making like a lot of places obsolete, like AI. I'm not saying they're taking jobs. But for example, libraries, a lot of people just won't go to libraries anymore. They won't do studying in libraries or stuff like that. They'll have everything online in one place. And AI being so predominant in our generation is a massive difference from
It
them.
really is.
Wow. So talking about like technology, as you guys were saying, is like the difference for Gen Y and Gen Z, like the difference for technology for both generations.
I mean, Gen Y, they didn't really have as advanced technology as us. They were like the beginning point of actual technology, and
They created more technology
They-
which benefited us
yeah,
at
and
the
we
end.
just adapted and changed and made it better for
Yeah.
our suitability.
And in Gen Z, like you guys said, we have AI now, which
Yeah.
benefits us hugely. It helps with like different areas of work. Like, for example, we use it mainly for homework or like revision,
Yeah.
but then you could also use it in companies where like millions and millions of stuff is just being produced constantly
Yeah.
to like
You can just get
check
It's
them.
statistics.
Exactly.
And it's crazy because I feel like we've become a bit stupid because of it. We're not using our brains to gain any knowledge.
They were just
Not like
focusing
before.
AI,
No,
like
you're
relying on it.
Searching up a couple keywords and getting all of it.
Just
set for us
breaking
on our
down the
screen.
paragraph.
And
we
that's
don't have to
probably
do
the
much.
cons to it as well, because we
Yeah.
can't use our brains anymore.
But if you think about it, that could also be a pro because we could use AI to like search for a keyword, help us revise, and then we've got like more hours to do different things. Like
Yeah.
maybe be productive in some other place, do a sport, leisure activity. Could maybe like start a job if you're of age. I think it just lets you have more time
Yeah, no,
on your hands.
I think, but to be fair, it's really hard to get a job in our generation, and a lot of people are just using, for example, AI for their CVs or to get in like notice forms and things like that, and everything is just becoming AI, and that's the whole thing with our
I think
generation.
that's why jobs are more stricter as well than employing
100%.
because of
No,
the AI thing. I think because they don't think they can use their minds anymore. So they
no,
just-
completely. And also the fact that the technology that we had today wasn't here 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Like, for example, the Ray-Ban glasses. I don't think 20 years ago you'd think there was like going to be little cameras in glasses.
Yeah.
And watches as well with like information, how when we have to go into exams, you can't have any type of watches. They have to check your glasses, the calculators, like,
so you're not cheating.
so you're not cheating, but people will find a way around it. There's so much technology nowadays that people will find a way.
Yeah, but if you think about it, they could also use AI to help us not cheat. Like, let's say for your GCSE exams, everyone's in a big hall, and to eliminate people cheating, they could maybe put like cameras in different corners of the room, which is like measured with AI, so AI could check for us instead of people checking, which they might miss, like maybe a hidden phone, a hidden watch, or anything, or like notes in your pocket. AI could get that, whereas the
Yeah.
human eye would maybe like miss that.
That is very
So
true.
AI is just getting rid of human error, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
It really is.
So we're just using robots now.
I think so, yeah. Like a lot of the time, like voices on trains, for example, or like online courses
That's literally it.
are AI. They don't get people to do that anymore. And people who look through CVs, that doesn't happen anymore. They'll put it through a system and they'll pick, oh, well, that person has experience, that one doesn't, but AI will do all of it. So it's taking people's jobs and taking people's creativity, I think.
Yeah,
because-
like
yeah.
things like self-checkout, like in Tesco's and Sainsbury's. It used to be you go up to the counter, put your products on the moving table thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Conveyor belt.
and then the worker would scan your items, put it in a bag. That's that. We're eliminating those jobs with AI or like self-checkout.
There are now shops with just no
And
workers.
there's
Exactly.
also a shop like the Amazon shop where there's no
Yeah.
like cashiers, there's no self-checkout.
You literally just pick up the items.
and
Or Amazon
leave the
Fresh.
store.
Yeah.
Yeah, you leave
Yeah.
the store and it pays through your like Apple Pay or your Amazon account.
And everything's online now. People don't
Yeah.
carry cash anymore.
Oh, that's true. Everyone uses like Apple Pay and stuff.
And
Yeah.
cards.
So when people are like, oh, we only take cash, a lot of the time people will not have money on them.
Yeah.
And even people like order things to their yard, to their house, instead of like going into the physical stores and buying it themselves. Like they could get
Cardo.
exactly. They got that Tesco, and then in America they got DoorDash, which they order their breakfast, lunch, and dinner straight to their door instead of
Delivery, Uber Eats,
actually
all of
going
that.
to the stores and eating.
I think they had that back then, but it's more.
It's more widely used
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, it's not very much widely
Because
used.
we're quite lazy now because of that. Like, we literally have technology doing everything for us.
But I think it makes it easier for them as well, right?
Yeah, but then that eliminates jobs as well. Like, not many people will be
I like the point
working.
of it. pretty
Or
much.
now that they have robots doing
Yeah, I've
deliveries,
seen that.
it's absolutely ridiculous. They'll have like little robots on
Yeah,
like
just
with
on
like
the
4 feet,
I think that's freaky.
just walking around the street with packages.
Yeah.
And I think it's utterly ridiculous. It's just insane to see something like that nowadays. Or robot cafes. Like that's predominant
Well, in Japan,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's predominant in Japan.
I feel like AI started more in Japan. Like,
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because
They're more-
Because they had VR.
And they're more
Exactly.
advanced and stuff.
I don't think the UK could afford to like technologize. I don't know the word for it, but the whole
in a couple years, I feel like they would, because it'll be more
self-driving cars.
Exactly, it'll be more widely.
Crazy.
It will be more widely used and everything.
There's like a type of Uber, like that is self-driven. I can't remember the name, but
Probably self-driving.
Yeah,
it's like you literally just sit in the passenger seat and you just go on your jolly way.
but if you think about it, those
I'd
cars,
prefer a person driving me.
yeah, like those cars could crash.
They
Like
could.
the cameras around the car could malfunction, and then it could cause like a very large car crash.
Couldn't you say that about a normal driver though?
You can, but
Can.
normal driver like
But, if
is
you want to sue them, you can sue the company more than the person.
yeah, but like with a normal driver, they have to go through like a couple tests. Like you got the practical and the theory test, whereas with AI, they don't have to go through
I
any
mean,
tests.
they test the AI before they use
Yeah,
them.
they do.
Yeah,
They
but-
both get tested.
Yeah, but like let's say, like radio telecommunications towers like get shut down, those AI systems would malfunction, leading to
Yeah.
a crash. Whereas with humans, the tower gets shut down, nothing really happens. We just carry on driving to your destination.
Well, if the driver doesn't respond fast enough because he's a human.
Well, there's that as well, but I would say there's more pros to human driven cars than cons, as comparing it to AI, because AI has just started. People have started using it now, whereas like let's say 5 years ago, everything was human powered.
Okay, but let's say in 50 years, would you rather take the human car or the AI car?
Yeah, cool.
Probably the AI car, because it will be more developed. Yeah,
Yeah.
because like you said, 50 years. 50 years ago from now, there was like barely any cars, I would say, compared to now. No, okay, there was still cars, but like not as much.
Yeah,
As to
it
compare
wasn't
now.
nowhere near as common.
Exactly.
You could literally walk on the street, play football, whatever, without being scared. To,
Yeah, like bicycles were more used then.
yeah, they were.
Oh, but now they use electric bikes now.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's good for the environment. Gotta keep it green.
Yeah, true. That yeah, I can't really say anything else to that.
Okay, well, thank you guys for coming into this podcast and sitting with me.
Thank you for inviting
Great
us.
Thanks for having
conversation,
us.
shared opinions.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for listening to this podcast. I'm Annette, the host, and thank you.